Hey y'all, it's Brody, and today I'm here to organize my bookshelf. A lot of y'all know that I've been wanting some shelving for a while for my books. Finally, I have shelves. You can see them here, and I'm gonna do like a little speedy organization-y thingy, I guess, today. Apparently it's around noon. These came in last night. I did not open them. I had to work yesterday. I was dead tired. I was out like a light. So I figured I would save it for today and we can make a video out of it. I don't know how I'm going to organize these first. Part of me wants to do like by color. I don't think that's going to happen because that would be annoying. But I don't know. I'll explain it later. So I'm just gonna. Oh, also we are pet sitting for a dog right now. His name is Whiskey. Whiskey, come here, Whiskey. Come here. Come here. Hi, baby. This is Whiskey. Oh, he's shy. Isn't he the cutest thing? Look, that's you. Say hi. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started now. This is a mess. I have books all over the floor. Okay. I'm gonna change into some different shorts because you will see my ass in these. Oh, bad lighting. Okay, so I'm very big on separating read books from TBR books. I can't have them together. So, as I read books on my TBR, they will get added to the shelf. As you can see, that I have like 3.5 empty spaces. Those on the bottom right there are just journals that I used to fill in the space. These two are empty. This is my Native American shelf. That's my spooky ocean water shelf. I don't know. Should we do a bookshelf tour? So I've sat with my shelf for about a week, I want to say, maybe 2. You can see I've moved it from that wall to that wall because I put my bed in that corner and I like being able to face my shelf. So, mini bookshelf tour, since it's all organized now. This first shelf right here is where I am keeping all of my Native American books. So we have stuff like New Mutants, The Demon Bear Saga, Rebecca Roanhorse, Tommy Orange, Crota. We also have some little decorations. We have my Grookie. I am Grookie Gang. We have this little plant that came from Penguin Teen when I did an Instagram post with them. And then we have this little beauty guru, this little cicada handmade for me by one of my coworkers for Christmas because they know I like cicadas. And then here is where I keep my arcs and books I have to review. So, Empire of Wild, A Lot Sway, Category 5, Apple, Skin to the Core, Black Sun. I got the Black Sun arc. And then moving down to this shelf, we have contemporary. All of these are contemporaries, these three. So I have I'll Give You the Sun, Will Grayson, Will Grayson, a story with one of these. This is the first book I ever bought because of BookTube. I looked everywhere for it, and I found it at a Barnes & Noble that was like 2 hours away from my house. I begged my dad for $10 to get it. He gave me $10, and then I realized sales tax was a thing, so I had to use change in my backpack. But this is the first book I ever bought because of BookTube. I also have some historical fiction thrown in here, so we have like Water for Elephants, Evelyn Hugo. I just didn't know where else to put that in the grand scheme of things. We have Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn, some David Levithan, Exit Pursuit by Bear, The Serpent King, Felix Ever After, I think is worth getting its own highlight. 5-star, recent read, loved it. And then we have more historical fiction with Out of the Easy by Rita Sepetys. And then my most recent completed book is I'll Be the One by Layla Lee. Loved this book. I think I give it 4 stars. Highly recommend you go check it out. Thankfully, most of these are queer contemporaries. Revolution of Brody Randolph, which you guys know I love. Wild and Crooked, which I feel is worth mentioning. Not enough people love that one. Tell Me How You Really Feel by Lamina May Safi is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite shelves. This is my ocean shark shelf. So you see right here, we have this hammerhead shark that my mom got me during Shark Week before I moved to Florida. The Hello Kitty Justice Jaws Funko Pop that was a gift from my boyfriend for Christmas. Also comes with the little Jaws Hello Kitty poster. And this little guy, it's the Life Preserver. Books worth mentioning on this shelf. Let's see. I have Meg by Steve Alton, which probably one of the more problematic books on my shelf, but I did enjoy it. I kind of want to get a different edition because I lost the dust jacket on this one, so every time I talk about it I have to hold it to the side so you can see the title. Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, another ocean horror novel that I love. 2 middle grade books that I feel are both worth mentioning. You have The Lion Tender by Kate Allen and Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly. I loved both of these and think that you would too. Last one on my shelf. Weirdest book on my shelf. Motherfucking Sharks by Brandon Allen Carr. Just the weirdest little thing that I have ever read. Before I moved down, I just realized I skipped over some of my stuff. So this is one of my OG Beanie Babies. It's a hedgehog. My boyfriend loves hedgehog. His name is Prickles. And he sits on my shelf right here with the Serpent King and Out of the Easy because I think he looks nice with like these kind of warmer and pale blue tones. I don't know why, that just works for me. I also forgot to mention Rapunzel, who I put with the magical fantasy-ishy things. Because, you know, she's a princess and she, you know, that's fantasy stuff. So, yeah. So this is where my horror thriller starts. You can see we have The Queen, Tiffany Valentine, Funko Pop, Saw Kill Girls by Claire Legrand, one of my favorite books this year. My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyen Braithwaite, another one of my favorites of this year. I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Gilly Siegel and Kimberly Jones, one of my favorites of the year. I don't own many mass market paperbacks, but I love this one of Carrie by Stephen King. It's my favorite Stephen King, so that's cool. The Sacrifice Box by Martin Stewart. Let's get a non-glary version. Yeah. The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas, one of my favorite books of all time. A Foul is Fair by Hannah Kaplan. I talk about this one quite a bit on my channel. Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by Elsie Roseland is a thriller. You can fight me on it. It's a thriller. Don't actually fight me on it because I'll win. Let me move on to I call it like fantasy sci-fi light, like fantasy slash sci-fi with like real world elements because that's mainly what I read. But just like fantasy and science fiction, dystopian in general is next. So you have Circe by Madeline Miller, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, Afterlife of Holly Chase, Wild Beauty, two Adam Silvera books, slightly in the future sci-fi because they deal with our real world. They're contemporary with science fiction elements, I think is the best way to put it. You knew I was going to pull this out, this bad boy, didn't you? Look how pretty. I need to get out of the frame. Look how pretty she is. She needs to be, like, featured, but I don't think I'm going to be doing features on my shelf or anything like that. At least not until I get more shelves. I'm going on more into, it's kind of like bleeds over. Yeah, Hero by Perry Moore, Cattywampus by Ashwin Otterloo. This was an arc I got, I read, I have a review coming up. I think I've mentioned that several times on my channel. August 4th, 2020, I believe. Highly recommend it. It's very cute. I think you will enjoy it. Childhood books, classics, books I read for school, books that like have like a more personal meaning to me outside of BookTube. So, like Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. This was one of my family's favorite movies, and we always debated on whether the relationship in this was sapphic or not while watching the film. And then I read the book, and as I was reading it, my family was just sitting around me waiting for me to get to confirm or, you know, whether the relationship was sapphic or not. So that's like a fun memory that's attached to this. We have A Long Way Down by Nick Hornby. This was my brother's book that he paid for it so that we could both read it, but he snuck it in my bag whenever I moved to Orlando and left me a nice note in it. I didn't realize that he had done that until I got to Orlando, so it was a nice surprise being so far away from home and seeing that. When Zachary Beaver Came to Town, which is probably very problematic looking back at it now. Harriet the Spy, I've mentioned that a couple times. We have classics like Animal Farm, Fahrenheit 451, this OG copy of the Odyssey that I've showed off a couple of times that I got from a yard sale for like a quarter. It's a Goodwill from a quarter. Picture of Dorian Gray, which I just did a low-key reading vlog for. You should go check that out. I will leave it linked in the cards up there. You can see my tits, I'm sorry. So now we have short story collections, poetry, more like little childhoody books, nonfiction, graphic novels. This area is just kind of the catch-all section for things that don't fit into other sections. So you have the Scariest Stories to Tell in the Dark Treasury, which is one of the prides and joys of my collection. Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Tristan Mattier, one of my favorite poetries. A Work in Progress by Connor Franta, which is the only YouTuber book I still have. He's the only one that has remained seemingly unproblematic, and I hope he stays that way. That's my original White Boy of the Month and will always be my White Boy of the Month. My favorite horror movie, this is the first in a 3-book collection, I guess. It's 48 essays by people in the horror industry. My favorite horror movie 2 and my favorite horror movie 3 are both on my Amazon wishlist. So if you want to help me out with that, that'd be great. We have some graphic novels. We have the Teen Titans Raven graphic novel. I'm anxiously awaiting the Beast Boy one. That's the one I'm really excited for. Beast Boy and Starfire. Nimona, Mooncakes. If I haven't convinced you to read Mooncakes yet, I don't know what you're doing or why you're still here, but go read Mooncakes. This is an owl that my father made for me. He also made Will one. He is a welder. He had his own, he sold things. It was kind of like an Etsy thing, but he would weld metal pieces into animals. He used to do like frogs and wind chimes and stuff, and this is one that he made for me. It's an owl. You can see it's made of like horseshoes and washers and saw blades and these thingies that are like parts of a trailer or a fence. I don't know what that's called. Yeah, this is my little owl, and we have a couple more around the apartment, but this is what I wanted for my shelf. Onto this one. This is more of the catch-all shelf. This is it's called the Gold Edition. It's the 2010 poetry collection from the America Library of Poetry. This is one that I was featured in. Very cringy. it was about how shitty life is. And yeah, I actually got published in a couple of poetry collections when I was like that age, like from 6th to 8th grade, basically. I entered and won every year. If I can find those, if I can get my mom to find them and send them down, let me know if you would be interested in seeing a reaction video of me reading my really cringy 6th grade published poetry. Then we have this one. I didn't know whether to put it with the graphic novels or memoirs because it's a graphic memoir. That's My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness by Nagata Kabi. I read this for the Asian Readathon in 2019 and I absolutely loved it. Made me cry. Definitely recommend you check it out. And then we have like comics. So we have Volume 1 of Witches and Volume 1 of Fence. I really want to continue on both of these, especially Fence. All of the rest of this from here all the way down is series, which is funny because I don't consider myself a fan of series, and yet that's what a third of the books that I own are series. Some of these are completed, some of them are uncompleted. Most of them are uncompleted because we all know that I'm shit at finishing series. We have Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dow, which I don't know if I will be continuing in the series because I am comfortable with where this book left off, and I don't know that I would want to read more because, like, I'm okay. I'm good. And these two, which are Three Dark Crowns and One Dark Throne. I do have the third book in the series, but I haven't read it yet. Hopefully we'll continue with this one. I really want to know how it wins. I am Team Catherine. Then we have this. It's a bind-up of the first 3 Night of the Living Dummy Goosebump books by R.L. Stine. If you have been watching my channel, you were following me on Twitter, you know that R.L. Stine is my icon and is what got me into reading, what got me into horror, what made me want to be a writer when I was a kid. And this I got from a yard sale. It used to scream and its eyes used to light up, but it's old and it doesn't do it anymore. See, I even wrote my name right there. We have the Penryn and the End of Days series right here by Susan E. We have Dread Nation, we have Queen of the Conquered by Case and Calendar, which I am anxiously awaiting the sequel. We have The Magicians by Lev Grossman. We have The Alchemist, Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series by Michael Scott. I don't know what to call these. Very grateful I have my OG covers because they were recovered and they look fucking hideous. Do really want the first and the second one in hardback though, so they can all match. Like, I hate those new covers. They're not it. Vengeance Road by Aaron Bowman. We have the first 2 books with Every Day by David Levithan. I still need to get a third one, which I don't know if I want, but I'm probably going to anyway. We have 5 Midnights by Andivia Cardinal, which the second book is up there. The author sent me for a review. You saw that earlier. We have The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. I might continue just because it's stupid fun. Beautiful by Renee Audier. I'm very excited for the sequel for this one. We have White Cat by Holly Black, which, let's be real, I'm probably never actually going to finish the series, but I still pretend that I am, so just let me feel good. Another item of note, we have one more Beanie Baby. His name is Garcia. He was a gift from my grandmother when I was a baby. My grandmother unfortunately died when I was like 3 years old. And I could not find Garcia before my move to Florida. And then my mom sent him down for Christmas, and I got really emotional, and I cried. This is one of the few things that I have to remember my grandma with. Like I said, I loved her. I was very close to her. But she died when I was 3. So it's nice to have something that I can hold on to and, you know, remember her by as a kid. So, yes, I'm a grown adult. Yes, I still have stuffed animals. Fuck you for your stigma. Alright, bottom shelf time. Awkward angles. We love this. Okay, first, another stuffed animal. This is a snowy owl. It's a Christmas present from one of mine and my boyfriend's friends. We went to a Christmas party. Everyone got a little presents. So this was mine because I love owls. Clearly. I clearly love owls. Other series you can see here. We have 1 book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. This is probably the only book that I've kept. I used to have the whole collection, got rid of them, decided to keep this book because this is the book that I took with me the first time my mother had chemo. It's also signed, and I did like this series when I was younger, so I figured I would hold on to it. Also, it's signed by all the characters too. I thought that was fun, and yeah, this just has memories attached to it, and I want to keep it. Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. I only I only have the Lightning Thief. I'm trying to build my entire Rick Riordan collection again. I used to have a dog that liked to chew on things, and she chewed up my entire Percy Jackson collection. So as an adult, I'm having to work my way back through. I'm very sad I can't find the original covers anywhere, but we're making it work. More Rick Riordan, we have the Heroes of Olympus series, starting with The Lost Hero, ending with The Blood of Olympus. Then we have the first 4 volumes in the Pokemon manga. I have mentioned it on my channel before, but I was a huge Pokemon kid. Still, I'm a huge Pokemon adult. Really enjoying the manga. It's very different from the games and the anime, so we're having fun with it. Then we have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, which technically is a standalone, but it's part of the Cruel Prince series. Will I ever read the Cruel Prince series? No. Is it still part of that universe? Yes. Does it make sense to have it with series? No idea, but I do anyway. Infinity by Sherilyn Kenyon. This was my favorite book when I was like 12 years old, or 14 years old, I can't remember how. I was in middle school. This was my favorite book. Nick Gaucher was my first boyfriend, and Sherilyn Kenyon was my first author signing. I've told this story before. She was very nice to me. I went in shitty Rocky Horror Picture Show cosplay, and there's the signature. Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova. I do want to continue on in this series, but they all have had cover changes. Granted, all of the cover changes are great, but there's been 3 cover changes, I think. So I think it would be funny if book 1 was in the first cover, book 2 was in the second cover, book 3 was in the third cover. The Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney. I do want to finish this series. I think it's a trilogy. We have The Merciless by Daniel Vega. Fully intend to finish this. Just want all of the rest of them in hardcover because they look so fucking cool as hardcovers. And then The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. I do have the second book on my TBR. Alright, final swing. Sorry if you see anything weird on the floor. There is a mother lizard who has laid her eggs somewhere around here, and I'm just going to let her have her babies in peace. So first we have this Funko Pop of Dr. Seuss. This was a gift from my boyfriend. Got it from Universal Studios. He cute. He real cute. I don't think he invoked us, though. I still don't think he's in focus. Then we have the Chemical Garden trilogy by Laura De Stefano. Really enjoyed these in high school. Reread the first book this year. Want to reread the second too. We'll be doing that, hopefully, in the second half of the year. Then we have my L.J. Smith collection. We have bind-ups of the first 9 books of the Night World series. I'm still waiting for book 10 to come out. Have been waiting for book 10 to come out forever. Never gonna come out. I have a bind-up of the Dark Visions trilogy by L.J. Smith. Then we have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which have to come out and get a feature, because if not, Book Twitter will kill me. We're gonna get canceled for having these on the bottom, but I love this series. We all know I love this series, and that's just where it fit. Fun fact, these were the first books I put on my shelf. So, I started with series on the bottom and worked my way up. Grasshopper Jungle by Andrew Smith. I'm genuinely surprised I have not officially unhauled this. Don't know if I ever will. Also, don't know if I will continue with the sequel. We have the 5 books in the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull. Let's drag these guys out. I mentioned before, but Fablehaven was my post-Potter books, and I will always be grateful for that. I do want to read the spin-off series that Brandon Mull has written that's about the dragons in the books. I don't know if I will ever actually get to that, but I do love my Fablehaven. But that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed this organization slash bookshelf tour. Not really a tour, but it's more of an overview. Like I said, these are very new to my space. Hopefully, as time goes on, I will be able to fill up the empties. But if you would like to help me fill up the empties, my Amazon wishlist, as I mentioned many times in this video, is linked down below. And I don't feel guilty for that, because I do a lot of emotional labor for this community, and I deserve presents, damn it. Comment question of the day, let me know how you organize your bookshelves. Let me know if you have any tips for organizing bookshelves. How do you decorate them? Do you use the stuffed animals and the Funko Pops like I do? Do you do like fake plants or real plants, which I can't do because I can't keep them alive. Sorry about that. Do you organize by genre? Do you organize by author? Do you organize by vibe or oddly specific tropes? Like I have all my shark books here. But then like genre, do you organize by color? I was originally going to do this a rainbow bookshelf, and that was not working out for me. It was not working out for me. Answer the comment question. If you don't have time, you don't have the spoons, you just don't want to, you want to come back and answer later, leave me an emoji, preferably a yellow heart, because those are my favorite. Or also, just like the stack of books emoji. I think that's really cute, and it's fitting. So, boom. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful, whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you next time for another video. Thank you for watching. Okay, cool. Bye.